What's up, everyone? Christian Duke from StrengthAddicts.com. Today I want to talk about Rich PIANA, Jason Genova, the slap match, the Order 66, the whole thing. I've known Rich for a few years. I first met him when he was working for Mutant. At the time, he was giving them creative input, making YouTube videos, working expos. He had a leadership role in the trenches, and he was getting paid peanuts, but he was working his ass off. That's all I've ever known Rich PIANA to do, is work his ass off for his name, for his company, for his brands. This is a man that's all about hard work. Jason Genova, out of nowhere, ordered an Order 66 on him, sent him a message on Instagram, a DM or something. Rich didn't read it. Rich doesn't read his stuff. He's got like thousands of emails coming from all around the world, doesn't have the time to do it. Jason felt slighted, ordered an Order 66, which attacked Rich PIANA's YouTube, his Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook, for no reason. After 7 months, Jason Genova apparently went up to Rich PIANA's booth at the Orlando Europa with the intention of apologizing, according to Mark Lobliner, but yet he had someone taping over his shoulder. He wanted to do a collaborative video. Rich asked him if they could do a slap match. Jason said he wanted to do guest posing. Rich again asked him if he could do a slap match. Jason said yes. Rich was not aware that Jason, is slow or whatever. I don't personally think Jason is that slow, because he's able to make YouTube videos, hire and fire personal trainers, monetize his videos, and he knows the value of collaboration videos. But nonetheless, let's assume for the fact that he is quote-unquote slow. Rich PIANA asked him if he had his consent. Jason gave it. There was like 5 slaps. 3 were kind of light, 2 maybe a little too hard, whatever. I'm not justifying the slap match, but what I am saying is that Jason Genova, inflicted torment on Rich PIANA, Rich PIANA's wife. There was threats made, and this did not stop, and it went on for 7 months. And I do believe that Jason Genova can tell the difference between right and wrong. And in the law, in tort law, there's something called intentional infliction of emotional distress. And Jason, the hardest element being intent to prove, and Jason on Instagram ordered his people to do this Order 66. They've done it to Louis Marco. They've done it to Jason Blaha. They've done it to Mark Lobliner. So he knows exactly what it entails, and he did it, even though Rich PIANA did nothing to deserve it. I'm not justifying the slap match. I'm not even saying that Rich should have done that, but what I am saying is that Jason acted out of line. Jason tormented these people for no reason, and Rich PIANA's worked really hard, along with Cody Losey, along with the freak Paulo Almeida, along with his wife Sarah. Everybody's worked so hard for 5%, for One Day You May, for Love It, Kill It, and the reality of the matter is that Jason Genova, because he felt slighted, ordered an Order 66 that harmed these channels and harmed these products and actually harmed these people. And honestly, he just gets a pass from everybody. And Louis Marco did that ridiculously stupid interview with Jason Genova and said, well, Jason, if Rich PIANA gave you a collaboration video, if Rich PIANA gave you a workout video, would that make it up for it? Would that be good? And of course, Jason says, yeah, that would make everything even. Rich does not need to make a video with Jason Genova. Rich should not do a video with Jason Genova, because Jason Genova extorted him basically to do the video by this Order 66, by having people submit to whatever he wants to get done. That's bullshit. I mean, if he's smart enough to know that Order 66 does this, if he's smart enough and devious enough to try to pull this shit to get his way, then he should be smart enough to tell the difference between right and wrong. I'm not justifying the slap match, but I am saying that Jason Genova gets away with a lot more than he should, and I think he's pretty damn smart. If he's smart enough to monetize videos, if he's smart enough to hire and fire trainers and work with supplement companies and do collaboration videos and have a following, then, and he's smart enough to drive a car, suppose, I don't know if he drives a car, but let's say he did, smart enough, if he's smart enough to do all these things, then he's smart enough to tell the difference between right and wrong. And if he knows the difference between right and wrong, he should not be doing these Order 66s, and I don't feel that Rich PIANA should be attacked to this extent. Is it possible that Rich PIANA did not know that Jason Genova was quote-unquote slow? Yes, it is. Is it possible that Rich PIANA was not familiar with Jason Genova? Absolutely. There's millions of people in this world that are not familiar with Jesus Christ. That's why we have missionaries. If there's millions of people on this earth that do not know the name Jesus Christ, it's very possible that Rich PIANA does not know every single YouTube celebrity out there, okay? He did not know Jason. He did not know about Jason. And when Jason came up to him, it was not to apologize initially. It was to do a pose down, and it was to have shits and giggles after Rich PIANA had been to hell and back. And he did not know, based on what he said, that this kid was quote-unquote slow, okay? So in all honesty, I'm not justifying the slaps, but I am just saying that Jason Genova, honestly, crossed the line, should be held accountable, and cannot be given a pass every single time just because he's quote-unquote slow. Number 2, as far as the slap match goes, that's on Rich. I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it was wrong, but I am saying that it's very possible, and I believe Rich when he says that he did not know that Jason was quote-unquote slow and that he was not familiar with Jason Genova. I believe that. And and then in that situation, if Jason was just any old regular guy, then yeah, a slap match is fine. Now, some of the Del Rey Misfits said it would have been fine if Rich let Jason hit him a few times. The deal was it was a slap match, so they were basically slapping back and forth. Nobody, Jason didn't have his hands behind his back, and Rich shouldn't have had his hands behind his back. Ultimately, I don't think the slap match was a good idea. I'm sure that Rich would agree, but I still think that it's wrong for everybody to pile on Rich and attack Rich, because if you were attacked unprovoked for 7 months, now some people are saying it stopped after a couple of days, maybe so, but it shouldn't have even happened to begin with. And the fact is, the order was out for 7 months until Jason Genova called him off, even though, whatever. My point is that, I don't even know why this kid is a fitness celebrity, and I don't even know why he's got so many followers, but, to a guy like Rich Piana, his social media is sacrosanct. He works damn hard for his brand, damn hard for his social media. There's a lot of money invested, you know what I mean? And for someone like Jason Genova to ultimately be able to, put all of that hard work and all those people, 5% is not just Rich Piana. There's a lot of athletes, there's business managers, there's a lot of people that make their livelihoods, that make their money, that put food on the table and a roof over their head because of 5% nutrition, because of One Day You May, and because of Love It, Kill It, So the reality of the matter is that it's just not cool for Jason Genova to get away with this. I do not believe that Rich Piana owes this kid a video. If Rich Piana wants to apologize, which I guess he did, I don't know, then that's fine, but he does not owe this kid a video, and this kid cannot go around, basically pressuring people into do videos with him. Otherwise, he will, or he and his fans or whatever will totally terrorize their social media platforms. That is not cool. And I will say it again, I had a video earlier, but I had a shirt on that I shouldn't have had on that promoted a campaign, and I didn't want the campaign in the video to I didn't want to, create bad blood for the campaign, so I did this new video. But I do believe that aside from the slaps, I'm not talking about the slaps. I'm not justifying the slaps. I don't care about the slaps. That's none of my business. I'm not talking about that. But I am talking about the fact of the Order 66. And the Order 66 in tort law would be essentially intentional infliction of emotional distress. Intent being the hardest element. We got Jason Genova on Instagram ordering his people to do it. So that is a tort. That is something, a cause of action that Rich Piana would have against Jason Genova should he want it, in my humble opinion. However, I'm not talking about the slaps. Like I said, I don't think it was a good idea. In hindsight, I'm sure Rich didn't think it was a good idea, but I do 110% believe that Rich Piana was not familiar with Jason Genova, and Rich Piana did not know that Jason Genova was quote-unquote slow or of any learning disability or mental issue or anything. He did not know. So that's where I stand.